And look at this.
I took it from there. I'm losing.
Barry was trying to play with Eastgate.
I feel so good.
He's run into Tom Juan with aces.
I'll go get you one. It'll cost you, but I'll go get you one.
Why the flower?
Yeah.
Why?
Tom Juan decides to daven for a
I
while.
don't feel so bad.
That's praying in Portuguese,
Yeah.
if you're wondering.
Okay. Hey, he's going to raise to 31,300. And Eastgate's going to get out of the way.
And Barry's going to almost insta-call. I think this is because it's Tom Juan. Jack nine of hearts is generally not a hand Barry would put in $20,000 more with
How much you have about?
before the flop.
Less than 300.
Barry makes jacks.
Well, Barry's flop top pair. Barry's got the button, so Juan's got to go first.
And Juan bets 46,200.
Barry's got a little bit of a dilemma here. He does not want to be pushed around by Tom Juan. He knows Tom Juan might have ace-king, ace-queen. Tom Juan might have a pair of sixes or sevens. Barry's got top pair, but it's going to cost him $46,200 to call. Now, if someone like Doyle raised before the flop and Barry had Jack nine of hearts, I don't think Barry would call. We wouldn't see the flop.
No more pain.
Well, that's nice in the middle of the hand.
Yeah.
That's my man. That's
Ellie's giving
feel so
Rose
good.
to...
Sigmund, very sweet.
Now, if he leaves some candy bars outside his hotel room tonight...
He's off the show.
raise 100.
Barry raises 100,000 more.
Barry's committed himself. And Barry's not acting. He's really nervous. His hands are shaking.
Come on.
And Tom Juan's got aces. He knows that Barry's committed, so quickly he goes all in.
Oh, man. And Barry calls, so now the pot is almost $550,000. That happened in a hurry.
And Doyle, continuing his accuracy of this season, says somebody has to have three jacks.
Got up and down. He's not queen.
What do you have?
Up and down, 9 queen.
No. Jack
Oh, I
nine.
don't see that. Okay.
And remember, Barry does not like to run it more than one time. He does it the old-fashioned way and lets the chips fall where they may.
How do you do?
I'll do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I felt like I was going to hit something.
He would say with aces, let's split it.
And Barry is confirmed. They're just going to run it once.
Split it. And you know
This is the
it.
second biggest pot without a gimmick on the history of high-stakes poker.
Straight poker.
Yeah, but
Barry gets a 9.
There's even more.
Wow.
You said 3 times, right?
That could be a
I'll put up the
$500,000 9 if Barry can avoid a 3, 10, or an ace.
And he does, and now Barry can take the money to the bank.
$548,700 to Mr. Greenstein.
Raise to 4,100. Call.
Two kings. In comes the re-raise, and this is where Durr becomes so dangerous when he picks up a real hand. His range is so wide, and everyone at the table has seen him make this exact same move over and over again with all sorts of hands. Patrick smooth calls. Viv gets away.
Good luck, boys.
Oh boy. Just when Durr looked like he was going to start climbing out of the hole, you get the feeling this one's going to get expensive. He's got the overpair with no flush draw out there. Antonius with middle set.
Check.
Pretty interesting check from Tom Dwan here. The trapper might just become the trappee. Look at how focused Tom Dwan is on Patrick Antonius while waiting for him to act. Looking for any sort of tell.
At 27,000.
$27,000 to call. Not sure if Dwan's looking to check raise or if he picked up a sign of strength from Patrick. He calls the 27,000 and hits a set of kings on the turn. This one's gonna get ugly.
Check.
Dwan's gonna try to get the rest of Patrick's chips into this pot. Almost $100,000 out there right now. Gonna be tough to think Patrick has got a set of kings beat here. I would expect a check raise out of Dwan if Patrick fires. And I would expect that as well. Antonius's net worth just went down by at least $59,000. Barring a miracle on the river. If you're Tom Dwan, it's tough to think you're up against Ace-Jack or Jack-9 considering the pre-flop and flop action. You can't smooth call and take the chance a 9 jack or an ace come off on the end. It would seem now is the time.
Come on.
All in.
Patrick didn't like that much.
How much more?
Dwan's counting it down. This pot is up to almost $400,000.
245.
Do these young people know how much money is at stake? I mean, you started from nothing, so you know. Listen, they play every night to put these guys on us. You know those guys. Every night. 300, 500. Easy.
It's all of Patrick's chips to call.
Yes, I have to call. Call.
Cool.
And that's what disaster looks like.
2 times. Twice. Twice.
This is officially the biggest pot in Poker After Dark cash game history. Over $561,000. And Patrick has won out twice. Strike one. Strike two. At his peak, Patrick Antonius was the big winner at the table, up over $230,000. And now he's felt it.
Wow. And there's a couple of hands behind him.
Cool.
Race to 2, call of 2. And here comes Brian. Looks like a deep reach. And then a change of plan. He calls with the 8.
Gives me that tingly feeling inside when these 3 players play a pot.
Would have got her more stuck.
Well, I mean, he's going to wait for her to use the bathroom and sneak some money under the table.
What a flop.
Oh, wow, this is it. What a flop here. We've got ace, jack board here. Ivy has flopped, bottoms full, and Patrick Antonius has flopped trip aces. And both these players are very deep. Each player has over $400,000.
When I moved to Vegas in '93, the big game was
The pot is only $12,000.
I'm willing to bet it's going to go up at some point in this hand.
That was the biggest game.
Probably a good assumption.
Chip came down for that game. And then it was a big deal when we kind of kicked it up to 8 and 16, and that was kind of the regular
15.
Patrick Antonius re-raises, puts it to 15,000.
You know, obviously, Patrick Antonius cannot beat ace king, ace queen, or ace jack. Little does he know that Ivy's got pocket jacks. And the pot is $27,000. And Ivy's, his eyes are just lighting up here. Just trying to figure out, how do I maneuver this pot to make as much as I possibly can?
But I mean, you know, they used to play. They were playing like 1-200.
And he is going to re-raise right away. He makes it 50 total.
He was just trying to launder money.
Phil Ivey not going to wait
I heard
to build this pot up. Patrick Antonius does have some outs here. He can catch an ace or a 10. And he is going to call this. And look at this. This pot is already $107,000. The turn is the 5 of diamonds.
That's a great card for Phil. He can be pretty certain that Patrick's not re-raising him with ace-5.
Although, if you remember correctly, Antonius did win a huge pot with ace-4 against Phil Ivey earlier.
$100,000.
And this is a huge bet here. Phil Ivey is making a $100,000 bet. Those are $25,000 chips. The pot is $207,000, $100,000 to Antonius, and this is the exact reason Ivey rebought.
Well, that $100,000 bet is really going to confuse Patrick. He doesn't know whether he's up against an ace-king, an ace-queen. He tried to find out with the 15,000 bet.
Cool.
And look at this, Patrick Antonius is going to call.
A 5 wouldn't get him any action, but would put him in front. A 10 would be a huge river. It's a queen.
It's a queen. It changes nothing, and for once, Ivey has not gotten unlucky.
Might scare him a little, though, that queen.
Of course. Remember, right now,
they're all talking at the start of this hand. Now everyone's watching. This pot is 307,000, and it could be getting bigger.
Phil Ivey trying to think, how much can I bet here? This is an enormous pot. Phil Ivey, the master, trying to figure out exactly how to get the big call.
A decent-sized bet from Ivey, and Patrick should be able to get away from the hand. There isn't really much he can beat here.
No, you're correct there. But the pot is $300,000. What about the human side of it? Can you really let $300,000 go?
He's got to decide what he wants to bet, and is he going to pass if he gets re-raised and puts 150,000 in there?
I think he's probably going to bet about 200,000 here, maybe even more. The pot is $300,000. Phil Ivey, an absolute master.
He might even just declare all in. He's sitting with about the pot size in front of him, around the 300,000 mark.
And could Phil Ivey get even in just one hand? Absolutely phenomenal poker. And what is Patrick Antonius thinking right now, Gary, as he waits for Phil Ivey to make a bet?
He's probably trying to decide, what do I do if he bets? What do I do if he checks?
Phil Ivey, obviously really thinking this through. The wheels are turning.
He's gone back for the blacks.
Those are $25,000 each. This could really sort him out. And look at this. This is the bet. It's $225,000. Phil Ivey has just bet $225,000. This pot is over $500,000. It is actually $250,000. It's 12 black chips. The pot is $557,000. What do you do if you're Patrick Antonius?
$557,000. The only thing he can really beat now is a bluff. He knows if Phil Ivey is re-raising him on the flop, a third bet, he should have ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack, jacks full. But it's also got to be going through his mind that Phil Ivey is stuck, and he is stuck big. This could be his one chance to get out of it. to steal this pot. Is Patrick Antonius going to make the call?
Phil Ivey like a stone here. Patrick Antonius trying to figure it out. The superstar from Finland really puts the test here. $250,000 bet. If he calls this bet, Ivey will actually be ahead.
That's all it's going to cost. Just 10 black chips.
Exactly, 10.
Doesn't sound a lot. Just a little bit of plastic. But that is $250,000.
This pot is over $500,000.
Let's come back to play with the chips.
Not much Antonius can beat here. But can he say goodbye to that big a pot? You can just feel the tension in the room.
I call.
Cool.
He says call! This is a monster, and it is the hand that Phil Ivey has been waiting for. $807,000 pot. Incredible.
Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Patrick Antonius calls that. It's over an $800,000 pot. This is absolutely unbelievable. This very well might be the biggest pot in televised history.
He's in late position. Barry might think he's full of it. He's going to raise to 15,000.
Look at this.
And Tom Dwan might think they're both full of it. He's got the king, queen of spades. We know that Tom Dwan's going to call here. But it's hard to predict what someone who lives in Durland is going to do in this position, so I'm not even going to speculate. Let's just watch.
Every season he won, every cage game he won. He's a good player, the best player, though.
All right, we're going to call.
Peter Eastgate might raise. He might think ace-king's the best hand here.
Now he's just going to call. Queen, 4, deuce, 2 spades.
Wow. Wow. What is it that Francis Scott Key said when he was in the Baltimore Harbor?
Bombs bursting in air.
A rocket's red glare. That's what we're going to see here in this hand. Tom Dwan's got top pair and a flush draw. Barry's got aces. And when the hand is over, let's see who remains at the dawn's early light.
Dwan starts out with a $28,700 bet.
Peter Eastgate's missed the flop. I don't see him calling here.
And Barry raises to 100,000.
He's not going to slow play his aces. There's 2 spades on the board. He hopes Tom Dwan has a queen. He doesn't want Dwan to have a queen and a flush draw, which is what he has. Dwan is probably thinking, well, I can't be an underdog even if Barry has an overpair. Actually, Dwan would prefer Barry has aces instead of kings. But whatever Barry has, Tom Dwan's got to go with this hand.
Here he comes. Wow, he's going to raise to 244,600.
Barry says okay. He's going to put Dwan all in.
Man.
Barry's hoping that Dwan has the kind of hand he has and not a set of deuces or a set of fours.
Yeah, I'm all in case we're not.
You got anything?
A little bit of something. Are we flipping them?
You guys got anything?
That's what I figured.
Best hand.
That's what I figured you had. Guess I could have taken the card off.
Let me take those back. I think so, right? Whatever you want, I don't care. I don't problem with whatever. She said, are we running at once? I think so, right?
Yeah, I want to run it once. You wanted to take a couple hundred back, that's okay. No. Pretty easy.
Sorry.
Okay.
22-year-old Tom Dwan says no deal. Let's play cards.
Another queen. Oh.
Wow. Barry's dead to the case ace. Tom Dwan wouldn't take 200,000 back. Unbelievable. You don't want to do what I want to do, run it twice. I'm not going to do what you want to do.
No case ace. Tom Dwan has just won the biggest hand in the history of televised poker. Over $900,000 in a hand with no deal.
200.
But get to act last post flop.
6-7 of hearts will open the pot. It's the hand that Tom Dwan has in front of him right now. Phil Ivey with an ace.
Ivey going to raise this up to 23,000.
Yes.
In position, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a call from Tom Dwan here. 17,000 more though. That's an overraise.
Tom Dwan thinking about what to do here. He's got 7-6 of hearts.
Ironically enough, we have a coin toss before the flop.
I mean, Robert, who has the edge in this game? I'm looking. Patrick Antonius, Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey. Three of the best in the world. Who's got the edge?
I'd be guessing if I told you. I don't really know.
Well, go ahead and guess. I'm curious.
I have to say Phil Ivey overall, but it's a close one. Real close.
Well, Tom Dwan is going to call. We're going to see a flop. Jack 5-3. Both players pick up a gut shot. If the 4 falls, talk about an action card.
Especially if it's not a club.
If a 4 falls, we're going to see some action. Ivy with a 4 would make the wheel. A 4 would give Dwan the nuts, as long as it's not a 4 of clubs, like you said.
Yeah.
Phil Ivey bets out 35,000 into this pot.
Pot is an astonishing $84,500. There's no going back from this.
This is a tough call for Tom Dwan, actually. He's got enough gamble. He's capable of calling here.
Well, it's not just calling for a 4. You're calling to float as well. And
in position.
He can call to represent clubs. He can call to represent that he's got a pair of 5s, a jack.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Ivy cannot win this pot, but he's made a straight.
Both players have a straight.
Talk about the gin card. Ivy makes the wheel. Dwan has the absolute nuts.
We could see the largest pot ever in televised poker history.
There's 75,000.
80, 85,
90,000. 90,000. Phil Ivey bets $90,000. If you're Tom Dwan, what do you do?
Wow, with a flush draw out there, I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and raise right here. But I'm not going to raise my whole stack. I'm going to raise it about 200,000 more. Make it look like I can still lay my hand down. Maybe 150 more even.
Now, Ivy's one of the best in the world, but can he get away from a wheel? He's made the straight. Both players have made the straight. Tom Dwan with the absolute nuts. Oh, talk about a gin card on the turn. Well, the biggest pot in the history of televised poker is just over 900,000. We have a chance of breaking that right here. Tom Dwan with the nuts, the 7 high straight, Phil Ivey with the 5 high straight.
He's definitely going to raise here.
The pot is $209,000. The action is on Tom Dwan.
Unbelievable.
142.6.
And the raise is 142,000 more. And this is where we're going to see how good is Phil Ivey. He's staring at Dwan's stack, trying to figure out where he's at.
258.
Can I have it all? Can I get all those chips?
I don't think Ivey can get away from this hand, but I'll tell you what, he is considered the best cash game player in the world. If anybody can get away, it's Phil Ivey.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if Ivey wants to get away.
I'm all in.
And he's
all in! Oh my gosh.
Ivey is all in. Dwan calls with the nuts. Ivey cannot win this pot.
Wow. Good hand.
Oh my gosh.
That's no good.
We have just broken poker television history. 1.1 million in this pot.
And he's drawing dead.
It is the biggest pot in the history of televised poker. And it's going to Tom Dwan. He's got the nut straight.
We just saw poker history made right here tonight.
26, 36, 96.
And they're counting the chips right now. The Jack of Hearts in the river, completely irrelevant. A 1.1 million chip pot going to Tom Dwan.